Hello, this is Floyd from marathonrecords.com with an IOLTA One tutorial. IOLTA One is an easy-to-use IOLTA bookkeeping system that was created by lawyers and accountants to be compliant with the rules of professional conduct and ALTA best practices. How to enter a transaction. Beginning on the application homepage, move the cursor over the menu bar to Client Matters. A drop-down list appears. Move the cursor over Enter Transactions and left-click to select. This brings up a list of all of the client matters that have been entered into the IOLTA One application. Go to the client matter you would like to select and left-click to highlight. Now go down to the Choose Account button at the bottom and left-click to enter. This brings you to a list of all of the bank accounts you have entered on the IOLTA One application. Find the account you would like to enter the transaction into and left-click to select. Go down to the Next button at the bottom and left-click to enter. This brings you to the IOLTA One split screen. The top half of the screen is the individual client ledger into which you are directly going to enter the transaction. This eliminates the number one problem with IOLTA account records, the unidentified and misidentified transaction. IOLTA One requires the user to enter the transaction directly into the individual client ledger. The bottom half of the screen is the main account register in chronological order, with the most recent transaction on top and the oldest transaction on bottom. Enter the data into the individual client ledger at the top. Use the Tab key to move between data fields. Enter any applicable notes and hit the Submit button on the right-hand column. As soon as you hit Submit, the transaction has been entered directly into the individual client ledger and inserted chronologically into the main account register. To highlight the transaction for review, move the cursor along the client ledger anywhere along the line and left-click to highlight. This shows the transaction both in the individual client ledger and the main register at the bottom. You can see that it's been inserted in chronological order. Now, if you're handling multiple transactions for the same client matter, as long as the individual client ledger is on the screen, just go and enter the next transaction into the data field across the top. Including any applicable notes, and hit Submit. You have now entered another transaction for the exact same client matter, and it appears both in the individual client ledger in chronological order and the main register at the bottom in chronological order. If you would like to enter a transaction for another client matter, you begin the process over by going to the menu bar and going to Client Matters and selecting Enter Transaction. If you need additional assistance, or for IOLTA resources and IOLTA One, a complete, easy-to-use bookkeeping system for IOLTA accounts, go to www.marathon-records.com or visit us on Twitter @marathonrecords. Thank you.